Aww. There it is. It was there. Welcome to our weekly live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
Crazy Ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we have a surprise live stream of sorts, you'll be alerted to it. It's not the wrong day of the week. You are not screwed up. It is Wednesday. It is not Thursday. But we have to go out of town tomorrow. And so we just didn't want to have to worry about wonky internet. We got wonky enough internet right here where we live.
Yeah. I got home from my game in Miami. We weren't sure was I going to get home in time, but we had a running clock. So I got home at 7:30. I had everything set up. I just did a test stream. And it did say that we were having issues. Hopefully we don't. It's still saying it. Now it's saying the bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate. So who knows?
What?
We're just going to pray that everything goes well.
That's all we could do.
If you are new here, our weekly live streams are like just where we want to hang out with you guys.
What you want to talk about?
Go ahead and answer any questions, comments, things like that. Talk about keto. We'll answer anything within reason. Within reason.
Yes, Joe is actually completely bald.
Nice.
This is not a wig.
So a couple ways you can ask your question is, number one, you can in the chat go ahead and put @2crazyketos and then type your question. Hopefully we'll see that, but if you want to make sure we see it, go ahead and use the super chat function. That's a little $ down below that is will highlight our screen, let us know that you have a question or a comment, as well as support the channel. And we really appreciate everybody who supports the channel, whether it be through using super chats, our links down below, becoming Mighty Networks members, or even just watching and sharing our videos, because that helps.
It really does help. And I'd like to give a big giant thank you to everybody who's been shouting us out on Instagram, on Twitter. I've started to see our name pop up. You guys are like cooking steaks, you're making different recipes, and like saying, hey, Two Crazy Ketos. And that blesses our heart like more than you can possibly know. So thank you so much. I absolutely notice all of those things.
Also, a little later on in the stream, not sure when, but you're going to have to be here to win.
Be here to win.
We've got some stuff to give away. Somebody sent us.
Miss Lynette.
There's a bunch of Element and some Keto Chow in here. So we're going to give this away to somebody later on.
She says, hi, you two awesome people. I'm not able to take these. These particular flavors don't agree with her. I've tried and tried, but the system of my body just rejects them each time. I'd like you to give them away. Bless somebody. So that's what we're going to do, Lynette. She says, keep doing what you're doing. You two are helping so many people with your kindness, love, and support. You make me laugh, cry, and feel good about myself, even if I'm not able to do this. May God bless you two and your family, and give Peyton a great big hug and a tickle for me. Well, we will absolutely do that. Be happy to. I'm getting excited. I'm going to get to see Peyton. We're going to be going to a she gathering on Friday night. I'm super excited about that. First time where it's like me and her mama and her. We're all going to like a little ladies event. The last time we had a ladies event, she was inside of Michelle.
Nice.
I mean, it makes me like want to cry because time is like going so fast. I feel like she changes every single day.
That's not working up there, but that's okay.
Hey,
Kelly
Cynthia.
in Michigan said Maple Waffle is back in Sake Keto Show.
Yes.
I meant to make a post about that today.
I love it.
So Maple Waffle is back in stock. Make sure you use the link down below. That will give you 10% off of your order of Maple Waffle.
Cynthia, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat. Said safe travels, Joe and Rachel. Yep, we are going to Orlando.
We are.
Because Rachel got for her birthday a Swim with the Dolphins experience. And
last year.
We were supposed to go in January.
Things just kept coming up.
And we were traveling every week, so we moved it to tomorrow. So we're going there tomorrow.
Speaking of traveling, who is getting excited about all of the things that are rolling on in this year. Are y'all getting packed? Because we've got Ketocon coming up very, very soon. You can still get $50 off
with the
of
code
your
2
ticket
Crazy Ketos.
if you use the code 2 Crazy Ketos up until April 1st. No joke. April 1st, you can get a deal, a coupon. We're all about the coupons. There is the lovely Chris Miller, who we will be having dinner with.
And oh, by the way, Megan,
tomorrow night. Yay! 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 I mean, yay!
Yes.
Am I supposed to be? I'm like so stinking excited. I gotta say Megan. Super, super excited to get to have dinner. We gonna eat all the meats. You know how we roll.
Right.
Meats. We're meat heavy.
Right.
I understand that this month the Brazilian steakhouse is featuring like a steak that's got a horseradish rub on it. Are you a horseradish fan? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Are you a fan of horseradish? Because I am. I mean, it cleans out all of my sinuses, but in like a good way. Is it weird? It's like you're just like, it's like Noxzema.
Yeah, we will be going to Texas State, Brazil with our 50% off coupons for our VIP club that we bought. And it's funny, excuse me. So we were talking about the whole like thing with Keto Chow. I'm like really excited that
Yes.
maple waffle
It needed to come back.
is back in stock.
It needed
It's
to.
like such a good flavor.
It needed to come back.
And Ketocon, that's what I wanted to talk about, was Ketocon is the end of April. And listen, we don't make any money off of you going to Ketocon,
No.
but I think you should be there.
Yeah.
But I kind of do want to have more people use our coupon code than anybody else's coupon code.
I know.
Because if we do that,
It's a
then Robin
competition
invites
thing.
us back next year.
That's right.
And so if you didn't know, we will be at Ketocon, and we are emceeing, I believe we're emceeing
Saturday.
on Saturday, and then we are speaking on Sunday. So if you want to come hang out with
Yes.
us, come hang out with us.
I would love that.
And when you go buy your tickets, use the code 2 Crazy Ketos. That gets you $50 off. We don't make any money off of it, but it tells Robin that you're going
Who
because
sent ya?
we told you, and then hopefully we get to speak at Ketocon next year.
Is that an appropriate level of competition? I feel like it, right? Like we don't make money off of like coupon codes for, conventions and conferences. We just like when people use it and they're like, oh my gosh, 2 Crazy Ketos. There's some 2 Crazy Ketos family coming up in this thing.
Right.
I love it. John,
Thank you very much for the $10 super chat.
you.
Sorry, I can't put it on the screen tonight. Thanks again for another great Keto Beyond the Couch
Thanks
on
for
Monday.
watching it. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Like we know we are long-winded. That's a good hour and 15 minutes of your life that you shared with us. And I
John
appreciate
also
it.
said, I started beef butter bacon and egg today, and it's getting
Wow.
weird. I ate at 10 a.m. a nice meal, 6 soft-boiled eggs, and about 4 ounces pile of pocket bacon.
Totally full.
Totally full, and still not hungry almost 9 hours later. Is
Yes.
this normal? Yes, it is.
But it is weird to start John in it because it's like, wait a second. What am I going to do? You better like decide on a hobby. I have done everything from crossword puzzles, regular puzzles, loom knitting, because all of a sudden you've got extra time on your hands because you're used to planning for meals and preparing meals and eating meals, but you do get full and then you're like, oh, I think I overshot breakfast and now like I'm done for the day.
Marianne said, I've never tried beef butter bacon egg, but I'd like to get on that good keto. The hunger just disappears. Amazing feeling.
Yes.
Just eat a bunch of meat.
I miss Marianne.
Avoid some keto treats, things like that.
I
and
miss your beautiful face.
Just eat a whole bunch of meat.
Yes.
John said, it's really weird for me to try to figure out when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been really hungry before I eat.
That's so interesting. So you're saying that you don't think that you've ever been really hungry before Triple B and E. I had never felt full before. So we're like opposites.
Yeah.
Which is like, but again, until we do these little experiments on ourselves and data collect, we don't know. We're just guessing. We're just shooting in the dark. It's nice to collect some data.
Uncle Big Guy said,
Hey!
howdy all. I made a stunning and crappy discovery when I went grocery shopping.
Uh-oh.
I finally looked at the ingredients of some 1-pound bags of bacon bits. Shocked to see there is dextrose.
Yeah. It is amazing. I can totally sympathize with that. I'm really sorry about that. Like, I know that that's frustrating, especially if you've been like us and purchased something like 2 or 3 times before you notice that on the ingredients label.
Oh, remember I did that with
The
those
cheese-
cheese crisps I was getting at Costco. I don't remember what the name of them are,
goodness.
but they're
He
just
was
cheese
so
crisps, and I
mad.
was so excited. They were so delicious.
Yep.
And then we finally noticed, like, these are much higher in carbs.
Yeah.
And then also when they changed the ingredients on the cauliflower bites,
Yes.
right?
And we were so ticked off. But like, yeah, it's very frustrating when you find out that like something that you're like, this should be simple. Recently we saw some peanut butter that was like supposed to be really good natural peanut butter. So we're like, this is going to be a really short ingredient list. And it was not.
Oh, yeah.
It had
Well,
some
that's in the
wonky
keto crate.
stuff. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
gonna see us
wait
get-
till you see the keto crate opening.
we get mad. I remember going to, I think it was Aldi. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure it was. We were looking at tuna fish, and there was like vegetable juice in it. And I was like, why is there vegetable juice in my tuna fish? What are you doing here? What? This is not natural. Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
fix that.
just making sure.
I would like it to be up on top, but
Sometimes you don't get what you want.
I
But you get what
know.
you need.
I know. Okay, so Helene wants to know,
Hi,
I
Helene.
noticed my bacon has sugar in the ingredients. Do I avoid it? No. Okay, that's the short answer. No, with a maybe. Does that sound right?
If it's got a maple glaze on it,
Okay, so here's my rule of thumb with bacon. Look at the ingredient
this
list.
is the thumb.
Where
There's the rule.
is the sugar in there? So understand they use sugar
In
as
curing.
part of the curing. If it is a normal serving size, like
Not a Rachel
2
size?
slices,
Okay.
and it says 0 carbs, you're good. Okay, the sugar gets cooked off anyway. If you understand how they make bacon, we actually have a recipe video on how to make your own bacon at home. But what they do is they put it on the outside, and so it goes in. You mix salt, and then you mix your prog powder, and sugar. Though we usually use like erythritol. Yes, we use erythritol, and we use that, and you put it rub it around on the outside of the bacon. Then you put that either in water, and then you soak your pork belly in the water, or you do what we do, which is a dry rub, and you put it in there, and you put that in your refrigerator for 1 to 2 weeks, and that cures the bacon, and then you smoke it. Well, when you take it out of the cure, you actually wash it off. So you're going to wash off all of that cure, and then you're going to put it in your smoker, or you're going to cook it. So any sugar that's on there is getting taken off anyway. I would not worry about it. Now, if you look at your bacon package and it says there's like 1 carb or 2 carbs in a slice, yeah, there I wouldn't, because
Yeah.
that's probably like a maple bacon or something like that. But most bacon has a little bit of sugar in it, unless you find the
Teensy
sugar-free
weensy.
ones, but I'm not going to worry about it. Dr. Berry talks about it all the time. Just eat your bacon and don't worry about it. So long as it's a normal serving size, which is like two slices.
Yeah.
You know, and then eat 50 slices.
I was going to say, that ain't a normal slice for Rachel, though. That's not a normal serving. I saw somebody mentioned, like, talking about carnivore, but, like, sometimes we just, like, leave out ham. Is there a reason why people don't talk about, like,
There we go, I got it.
ham and carnivore?
Shauna,
Hi.
between Keto Chow and 2KK doing lives a day early, I'm all okay. I didn't
I'm
even know that
sorry.
Chris and Miriam were doing their live stream
We're
a day early.
twinsies.
And he sent me a picture from Disney World with their smiling faces. Do you want to see
love
it?
that. Yes, I do.
I wish I could
They're
show
the
it to everybody
cutest.
else. Look at that.
Aw, look at that. They went
So-
to Disney.
See, there you go. Chris, Miriam, and Kate.
I
They're
love
at Disney
it.
World.
Bless their hearts. I hope they're getting on all the rides. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Joanna said, I'm glad your live is tonight. My daughter's coming in for the next few days, so I'm not available tomorrow.
Oh, I'm glad you could make it, Joanna. Okay, so ham. We are pro ham. Don't get us wrong. We're pro ham. You are about to go into like a season where you're going to get deals and steals when it comes to ham.
I'm going to say one thing about ham, though.
You're going to talk about the glaze.
I'm going to talk about 2 things.
Okay.
The glaze, and once in a while, I think ham is fine.
Yeah.
Okay? Just take a look at the ingredients, see where it is. Generally, you're going to have a carb or 2 in ham because, again, it's cured with sugar. Where you really want to be careful is deli ham.
Yes.
Deli ham usually has extra dextrose added in.
Right.
So not like the honey baked ham. Well, not a honey baked ham, but you know what I mean. Like a spiral sliced ham you're going to find at Costco. Those,
Aldi.
I don't worry about them as much so long as you don't put the glaze on the outside. But the deli ham, like go get Boar's Head deli ham kind of thing, a lot of times they add dextrose to that, so look at the ingredients on those.
But seriously, keep an eye out. And especially like immediately following Easter, they like lop from the top at Aldi and they start doing deals like $5 off a ham. And it doesn't matter what the price is. So our trick is you go in there and you find the tiniest one that they have because it's $5 off of that one or it's $5 off the great big one.
Right.
So, I mean, we've come away with hams for like a couple dollars.
John, Keto Simple said, I'm bald too. Joe and I are beautiful.
Yes, you are. You also have a magnificent beard, sir.
Yeah.
Very elegant.
And then
Love it.
somebody said, are they at Disneyland? Or Teresa said Disneyland.
Lands.
They're at Disneyland. I just always say Disney World. But yeah, they're in Disneyland. We have never been to Disneyland. One day I want to go there.
I have never been to Disneyland, Joe.
No, me either. FNP Feel Good said, non-scale
Hey.
victory for me. I've lost my fear of straight up telling my patients to stop eating carbs.
Yes.
No more dancing around the problem for 90%
Way
of
to go.
Thank you very much for standing up for what you believe in.
Wow.
I want to tell them so much about that email that we got today.
No.
I want to tell them.
Y'all keep us in prayer.
Y'all going to have to keep us in prayer because
we
we
may have
have
a really big
an
opportunity.
amazing opportunity, but we can't tell you about it.
We can't tell you, but
But
like,
it's an amazing opportunity. We have a Zoom call to possibly be in
Okay.
a competition of some type.
okay.
I can say that.
That
part.
is it.
I'm not telling them what
That
it is.
is it.
But it's exciting.
But
it's like a game show.
Okay, you're done. You're done. I'm gonna pull the plug on this live stream if you don't stop, sir.
You're gonna have to just pray for us, and you're gonna have to follow us to find out what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep
and
us
then
in
once
prayer.
we can tell you, we'll tell you.
You know you will hear it here first.
Jennifer said, Dustin, you have 10 pounds of beard. He
Yes.
does have 10 pounds
It
of
is
beard.
magnificent. Very impressive. My brother is in competition with you slightly. So
Yeah, John
he's
said,
got quite a long one.
that's right, it's Wednesday. Y'all had me thinking it was Thursday. As a matter of fact, I was wondering what happened to Ready Set Ketos Live,
right,
which is also
on
on Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday?
they do it right before ours.
Yeah, I mean we've missed everybody up.
Talk about one of the things I love about the keto community is how listen, sometimes it just happens.
You can't help it.
But I love the fact that a lot of us do try to not step on each other's toes and do lives at the same time. Sometimes you have to.
There's
Like,
nothing we can do.
we absolutely don't like missing a live stream, and if it came down, we did it tonight, and I know there's probably somebody else. I think Autumn might be still on.
Is Autumn still on?
But we try not to, but it was, hotel internet, especially Orlando, always sketchy.
It is.
And then nothing frustrates me more than when we have sketchy.
Plus, y'all know, I don't know where we're staying tomorrow night.
Marriott, I believe.
You know how they get that yellow wall? I don't know why they decorate those hotel rooms with the worst sort of paint, and we look sick as a dog every time we have a live stream in one of those rooms.
Bill and Marilyn said, you are the best couple. I'd like to know if changing the time of day for fasting would help with fat loss. Changing things up in general
helps.
can help.
Yeah.
Okay, so something you might want to try is do a 24-hour fast once a week. Try that. But if you've been normally doing your extended fasting or normally doing your intermittent fasting, like where you don't eat until lunchtime, try a couple days of just eating in the morning and not eating in the evening. Also try only doing it 2 or 3 days a week because then it's almost like a refeed kind of thing. And so I was actually excited. I was texting with Dr. Lenskis earlier, and he called in my prescription for our new CGMs.
I'm so excited. It's tiny.
Excited about that.
Instead of it being my entire
small.
arm.
And we're just trying to, he's been super busy since getting home. He bought a home, he said, and he's
Oh,
going to be
in Arizona? Oh, so keep an eye out for him
So-
if you are looking for a teledoc option with
Yep.
a keto-friendly doctor. Once he
He's the
moves to
answer.
Arizona, he's able to serve more states.
Yep.
So
he's
that's
gonna be on our
very
podcast soon.
exciting.
I'm excited about
Oh my
that.
gosh, I'm so excited.
FMP Feel Good said, I was so stressed at lunchtime today. No time to swing by a healthy fast food place as I was in a poor part of town.
Hardee's
for the
win.
win with the lettuce wrap monster burger.
It has been a minute since I have been to Hardee's. Now, when we used to visit my extended family in the middle of the state, they had a Hardee's. We didn't have a Hardee's. But it was so cool. You know, it's so funny. Like when you get into a town, like we get excited when we get in Utah and there's like Apollo Burger. Like you're even access to fast food places that you've never been before is neat, right?
Anthony DiPetrillo actually sent me a text message because he's up visiting his kids, and he was like, only option around was, and he was at Burger King ordering a bunch of just like bunless burgers.
Oh, that's exciting. And now I know he was going with his son-in-law to the Journey concert.
Yeah.
How cool is that? I am super jello about that because I love Journey. Do you guys like Journey? What's your favorite song? Because I love Journey.
Diane said, I'll be Ketocon and the low-carb cruise.
That's another one. I am getting ready. Okay, here's the thing. Have y'all looked up cruise wear? Because I'm not getting back good results on Amazon. The stuff it's suggesting, because I don't really have any like cruise wear, I need to find things that are easy to pack, but I need to cover myself. I can't be wearing a bathing suit to the talks.
Why not?
Right? You can't be doing that. So I need a couple of like sundresses, but it's kind of challenging to find some. So
find something.
I don't know. If you guys find a brand or something, you know, they can't, you know, I'm cheap as they come. So like it needs to be reasonable.
MJ said, love horseradish sauce with prime rib. Oh
yes.
Yeah. When we go to Texas
yes.
Roadhouse, they're like, do you want horseradish? Yes. Creamy horseradish sauce and bring a lot. How much is a lot? At least 3 times the amount that you give to everybody else.
I was going to say, whatever you think is a lot, multiply that by at least 2 or 3.
Rita said, getting a little stressed because I still don't have my flight there booked. Have the return, but the outgoing had to be canceled.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You got flights, right?
We are flights, but we're flying into the other airport.
Okay.
Me
and you, Rita. Go find herself somewhere.
Excuse me. Purple Loving Nuna said, no horseradish for me. You can have my share, Rachel.
Thank you, Debbie. You're super generous. Because I'll take it.
Robin can take or leave horseradish. Used to hate it, but I like it nowadays.
I'm telling you, I love it when it's just like, it takes it, like it just clears out my sinuses. I feel it down my throat.
Yeah, FMP. I'd love a keto version of a blooming onion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, me too.
She wants the sauce. I want a keto version of a blooming onion.
No, I want the sauce.
No, I just want the onion.
I want the sauce.
Okay. Haggy Cure.
Hi.
What is the role of the microbiome in regulating ketosis, and how do changes in gut bacteria affect ketone production and utilization?
Wow, this sounds like a science project. Okay.
So we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. Overall,
we're just people who like horseradish.
It is my understanding, and I could be wrong. The person to talk to this about is like Dr. Lenskis and Mindy Peltz, but it is my understanding that your microbiome itself, your gut microbiome, has nothing to do with ketosis. They're separate things. It has to do with how your body handles and digests and breaks down the food, but it has nothing. Ketone production happens in the liver, and your gut microbiome is in your gut. And so they would be 2 separate things. That is my understanding of it. And your gut microbiome changes based on your environment and what you eat. It's not that one is better than the other. It's that it changes based on what you eat. You have the ones that you need. Now, there are certain gut bacteria, as Dr. Lenskis and I were discussing, without getting into controversial topics. There are certain bacteria as part of our gut bacteria that help with certain diseases. Mm-hmm. And so if we find things to feed those bacteria that they like, it helps combat that specific disease even more, or virus, or whatever you want to call the thing that we dealt with a little while ago. But we're not going to get more into that. But that was interesting that a lot of the studies were finding that if you had a lot of this gut bacteria, it helped with certain diseases. So that was kind of interesting. Cindy said, I already have my tickets for Ketocon. Yay! Got them as soon as they came out.
That is awesome.
Marianne used our code. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Again, we benefit zero from you using our codes for any of these conferences. We have to pay to get ourselves to the conferences. The only thing we get for going to a conference is admission into the conference when we're speaking at them. But that's it. We have to pay for our flights. We have to pay for our hotels, unless, of course, we are blessed to be able to hang out with Chris and Miriam, and then we'll stay with them and be in a house with them. But yeah, we have to pay our own way to the conferences too. So we get zero benefit of you using the code. We just think it's important for you to be there. And we get bragging rights for them going, hey, 75 people used your code.
Yeah.
I really like that. It makes me feel good.
Exposing Darkness is saying, is anybody going to Ketopalooza? Lots of people
We will
are
be at Ketopalooza.
going to Ketopalooza.
We are speaking at Ketopalooza. I
Super
believe
excited.
we're speaking there.
I
Anyway.
hope so. We'll be there. You'll hear my mouth in that room.
Shauna said, so I have had my first rough oops trial video on YouTube channel, same as my name. Need a good laugh? It's now public.
Way to go. We're seeing lots of people coming up with YouTube channels. I love it.
Teresa can't wait to meet us at Ketocon.
I can't wait to see you, Teresa.
Debbie said, no Ketocon for me. My money is going towards the low carb.
Yeah,
cruise."
but then I get to see you on the low carb cruise, which is super
for
awesome.
7 days, too.
I know, you're stuck
And
with me.
guess what?
Trapped
I
on
know
a
it's-
ship with Rachel.
I know it's more than a year away, but we have already booked our spot, and we'll be speaking on Low Carb Cruise 2024.
What?
Whereas Chris Miller, I expect you to be on that one since it's leaving out of your home port.
Cape Canaveral?
Yeah, it's leaving out of Port Canaveral, and it's longer. I think it's an 8-day cruise. So, super excited about that. Robin said,
Super
I had
excited.
sardines for the first time ever yesterday and today. Mixed them in my tuna salad. No taste difference, but
crunchy bones. I saw somebody else had mentioned that they had had sardines for the first time. It wasn't terrible at all. It was actually really delicious. And if you're like, a fish fan, don't mind tuna fish and stuff like that, it's actually very tasty.
Shauna, thank you very much for the $25 super chat. Rachel, please take this and purchase a cute sundress for the
Shauna!
cruise.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna spank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gracious. Now you gotta direct me to what's a good, brand.
Keto Simple said there is a total difference between Carb Life Full, overstuffed and miserable, and Keto Carnivore Full, which is more satiated
That's
and
true.
satisfied.
That is true.
And that's something, so our podcast that went up this morning, something we talked about in our podcast. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. One of the things the topic of the podcast was things that surprised us when we got started keto.
Yeah.
The keto is nothing what we thought it was going to be, and in a good way.
Yeah.
And one of the things we talked about was, I never, and I've said this before, I never had a problem sitting down and eating an entire bag of potato chips, an entire package of Oreo cookies, or 1,000 to 1,500 calories of any kind of junk food. No problem, right? And in fact, I think in the podcast I said, how many people, and I asked Rachel, could you sit down in one sitting and eat 4 Hershey bars without getting
Easily.
sick, right? And she's like, yes. But can you sit down and eat 30 wings without at least getting like, oh, I don't know if I can finish this?
No, even me. And
that's about 1,000 calories.
And anyone who's ever eaten with me, like when we go out, we go to conferences, y'all know I can put down the food in a sitting, but there is a threshold. There is a stopping point.
Yeah. When you try to eat a pound of ground beef or a 16-ounce prime rib.
You know when you're done.
But, even if you can do it, by the end of it, you're like, I'm good.
I gotta have to roll out.
Yeah.
Like, when they always come and say, like, do you want any dessert? There is no room for negotiation.
No. Yeah, we laugh at them.
I mean, it's just like, no, I need like a gurney, right? Like, I gotta get out. I can't.
Denise Mama 4, I'm going through a really tough time at the moment. 2023 so far has been a really tough year. I'm thankful for Keto because it's the only thing I have control over in my life.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna write your name down. I'm gonna be thinking about you. I'm sorry you're going through a hard time. But I will echo that sentiment that there used to be the time where we would go through struggles in life, and also I had no control over what I was eating. Like where you felt out of control every single which way, had no handle on anything. And that is a very, very frustrating place to be. So I'm glad that at the very least, you have some control in what you're eating, because it does feel good to have like some stability someplace in your life.
Scott said, you
Hey,
guys
Scott.
are awesome. Glad to join my first live chat with y'all. I'm on
Welcome.
day 20 of Carnivore, and I've noticed that ham
We were just
doesn't
saying
get
that.
talked about
That
a lot.
was
Well,
it.
that's what happens when you go look
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry. I noticed it was a new face.
Rosie said, hey, Joe and Rachel, I
Hi.
love horseradish. Is inflammation different for all? I'm afraid I don't know how it feels. I'm in pain every day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a little different for everybody. So I experience inflammation 2 different ways. Joint pain and bloat in my stomach. Plus, there's other kinds of inflammation. Like if you get a sunburn, you've got inflammation. I showed it on Keto Beyond the Couch.
It still looks rough.
Giant bruise that seems to be getting worse.
Right.
I mean, I'll show it again in case you didn't see Keto Beyond the Couch.
They
But
need to see
this is inflammation. I got to turn that off. See this? This is like hard as a rock. I mean, it's like hard like a baseball.
Yeah.
That's
it looks
inflammation.
Terrible.
Right? That's inflammation. If you don't know what that is, I got hit with a lacrosse ball traveling about 90 miles an hour on shot on goal. Well, it started with the first one. I then got hit the next day in the same exact spot. And I'm probably going to have that inflammation for a couple of weeks, that bruise. And because what I have found for me, I have so much loose skin on my stomach and on my side that what ends up happening is I can bruise anywhere else and within a day or two the bruise is gone. But I guess because there's not a lot of cushion in there, it gets really, really bad. But so we have a lot of different types of inflammation, and the longer you do this, the more in touch with your body you are, and the more you will recognize when you're having it and what causes it. Like I was messaging Steve today. Yeah. I didn't tell you about this because I was on the road.
Larrabee?
No, Steve, like Serious
Keto?
Right. And so Steve put out a video on keto breads today. He did another keto bread one. And one of the things that he found was he had these rises in his glucose, and then he had a bagel one, and in the bagel one, the glucose didn't go up as much. But what he's doing is he put cream cheese on it.
Okay.
And so I was messaging with him, and that one of the things that I learned from, and this is not, let's put this up, this is not permission to go eat carbs, okay? But Dr. Lenskis has learned in some of his research with his patients that if they consume carbs, they have a big spike. Mm-hmm. But if they consume a bunch of fat and protein with the carbs, the spike is not as much. Now, that doesn't mean go eat carbs and have fat and protein with it, because that's still going to derail you. It just, you didn't have as much of a glucose spike.
And it actually proves what we say all the time, which is if you're going to have a dessert, if you're going to have like the snack food, which is usually typically going to be higher in carbs if it's like nuts or fruit or a keto dessert of some sort, couple it with your meal, because you should be eating 2 to 3 meals a day and keeping it reined in like that. And if you do that, that's going to be your best shot, right? Because you're going to have less of a problem because you're already going to be mixing it with your meal, which should be prioritizing protein and fat.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we were talking about was, in the video, he talks about that he does a glucose on like the Hawaiian rolls or something, and he has a spike. And then he's like, a couple days later, he had them, but with a burger on it. And then he showed, like, it had no spike. And I was telling him that that's probably why, because of what and, we were talking about how Jason Fung has said the same thing. And again, not permission to go eat carbs, because it will still derail you. But it was funny. So I said to him, I'm so glad you do that, because I'm not willing to dive down that keto bread rabbit hole, because my personal opinion is there is no good keto-friendly bread in a grocery store. None of them are good for you. Don't bother. If they're like 25 net carbs, get rid of them. They play games. Steve has shown that with his glucose test. They play games with serving sizes and fiber and all that stuff. But he goes, he's like, I've got to stop being this guinea pig, because the inflammation that I get from doing it is horrible. Yeah. Especially when a lot of these breads are containing soybean oil, which really gives him a lot of inflammation.
So it's like, it's not just that, like, you don't want to eat the bread because of the high carb count. It's all of the other things, all of the other ingredients, and some of these science projects that like inflame us. And it is so individual. Like, for instance, I've shared this before. My mother is highly sensitive to MSG. If she has MSG, even like a tiny, tiny amount that's in some sort of a seasoning, her eyeballs, she can't see out of them. Now, I could eat the same pork rind with like a little bit of like MSG in a seasoning and be fine, right? Like I have no problem seeing the next day. That's it. But for her, it's dunzo.
Yeah.
So you really have to take the time to figure out and like eliminate ingredients and then slowly put things back in so that you know what, you're sensitive to. Hey.
Gina said, help. I just finished a 46-hour, 15-minute fast. I was feeling great. I broke my fast with beef bone broth and 6 over easy eggs. Now I feel yucky with major headaches. Drinking electrolyte suggestions. Ooh. Make sure you're getting in enough salt.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And water. Don't forget your water.
Yeah.
But you definitely
add some more salt.
Other than that, I really
go lay down for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably just, again, you've tapped out of eating for a little bit. You've probably got a blood rush going to your stomach, trying to deal with the digestion. So like, just give it a minute.
Lori.
Hey, Lori.
I'm on week 3 of incorporating liver into my lunches. When should I start feeling a difference? It's
Wow.
almost a pound a week. I mix it in my ground beef. I don't know if you're going to feel a difference. It's more of like an internal, it's just really good for your health. You've got lots of vitamins and nutrients.
Yeah.
You may feel a little bit, but honestly, that's probably a question for Dr. Barry. I don't know of anybody who feels different when they eat liver. I certainly wouldn't know because we rarely eat liver, other than taking liver pills once in a while.
But it's like knowing that, you're getting extra vitamins and nutrients that your body absolutely needs. So it's like it's building up on the inside.
Yeah. Alyssa and John said many types of ham, particularly those that are processed or cured, contain added sugars or other carbohydrate-rich ingredients that can contribute to a higher carb count. Yep. Yeah. Generally, you will find a little bit of carbs in ham. Again, if it's Easter and you're having ham and there's 1 carb per slice, I'm not going to worry about it. Am I going to have a sugar glazed ham? No. But, the little bit that's in the curing, I wouldn't worry about unless you're eating it like every single day.
Right.
Diane said, I received my first purchase from Ketotown. Purchased the cord to make the pudding recipe you have.
Yay.
My coconut milk is unsweetened. Will that still work? It should be unsweetened. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we use. Just
Perfect.
unsweetened coconut milk. Canned coconut. It would still work with the ones in the cartons in the refrigerator. The problem with those is you're not going to have enough fat in there.
Yeah.
So that's why we use the canned one.
Mary T is here. Hey, beautiful.
And you could even use like almond milk and a little bit of heavy cream, but that would defeat the purpose of using Keto Chow Core, which is dairy free.
Shauna usually gets the sliced ham. Look for the ham off the bone. You know what my brother always enjoys is ham steaks.
Yeah.
You can buy the ham steaks. Those are really good.
Keto Simple said, I've never been to Disneyland either. We should do
Yay!
low-carb Disneyland.
That'd be super fun. I would love that.
Let's see. Robin's here. I see you teasing is in high from the form this evening. Yeah, well, I'm excited.
Doop.
Mary said, fingers crossed and love the light coming your way. You got it. Good things come to good people. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary. I really appreciate that. We're hoping.
Fabric Pixie said,
Hi.
Today, doctor's physician assistant told me she thought I was 10 years younger than my real age. Asked my secret recipe, keto, ketovore, and now learning more and more to...
Leaning more to carnivore. Okay. That is awesome. Isn't that like so stinking good when someone comments on your skin or in your hair or like just like, wow, you look very like rejuvenated, youthful, rested. Like, what is your secret? And you get to tell them it's not an expensive spa treatment. It isn't surgery. It is that we're eating. And it's something that can be easy for them to attain as well because they can find it in the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, Janice brought it up.
Oh no.
She brought it up.
Where's your soapbox?
Does everybody spring forward this Sunday? Yeah, except for
Arizona. Is that why Dr. Linskus is moving there?
I don't know. It's
Just
a good
to
reason.
completely
I
avoid
want
it.
to move to Arizona just so I
I
don't
may
have to
send
do
you
that.
there, Joe.
Please write your congressman and say stop the time change.
Okay.
I don't care what we do. Just stop the time change.
I'm taking away your
I'm
mouse.
good anywhere we go.
Wow.
I don't care where we go, but stop the time change. Debbie said, grandbaby is growing up too fast. My second grandson is 18
months
old.
already? Tell him to slow down, Debbie. That's not fair.
LM said, we are sadly missing out on this year's cruise, but please, 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 will y'all be guest speakers on the 2024 cruise that Debbie is already booking? We're going on that one.
We're going to be
as
there.
we just said, if you didn't see, we are already booked and speaking on the 2024 cruise out of Port Canaveral.
That's awesome.
Keto Simple said, this is how I heard of Dr. Barry. He was on Two Keto Dudes podcast, and he was Carl's teledoc.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Fabric Pixie, our Aldi has pork belly for $2.99 a pound today. Asked a friend to get me some. Don't know yet if they were out. Happens often when it's that price.
Yeah, they sell out. And if you have not smoked a pork belly, like smoke it like a brisket like we do, you've got to give that a try, yo. It is so flipping good. It is delicious.
Teresa, I can't find the cost of the low carb cruise. Is there pricing? Email Debbie. I don't know. The price is, don't quote me on this. It's somewhere around $1,500 for the cabin. So if you go with somebody else, that's what, $750, $800 per person.
Mary got her 20s outfit. She's so excited for the cruise. I need to get one.
Now that price, by the way, is
one.
for like an inside cabin. Like we upgraded to the ocean view balcony.
This is a carryover from our anniversary.
It's our anniversary. Well, it's still our anniversary.
Yeah.
And Rachel has never been on a cruise,
and
ever.
If you're going to barf out the window into the ocean.
Yeah, Keto Simple said, I'm with Joe. I want the onion.
Oh, okay. I'll settle for the sauce.
Okay. Scott, another
Scott.
question. How do y'all get away from the mantra of calorie count and also mix up some Coleman's English mustard, better than horseradish, but just as effective? Awesome.
I'm going to have to try that.
How do we get away from calorie count and eat whole food and severely limit any type of sweet treats, whether they be prepackaged or homemade, and eat like 1, 2, or preferably 2 or 3 meals a day until you are comfortably stuffed. You have to get more into calorie or fuel counting when you eat more meals. First of all, every time you eat, even if it's a bunch of just protein and fat, you're going to have an insulin reaction. The whole reason that keto works so well for diabetes and lowering blood sugar and everything else is because we're limiting the amount of times our body is creating insulin. Then that also helps you with losing weight because, see, you can't gain weight in the presence of insulin. You can't lose weight in the presence of insulin.
You can gain it.
So,
I've proven it.
If you're only having an insulin reaction a couple times a day, the rest of the day you're not having an insulin reaction, and then your body can actually burn fat because insulin is a fat-storing hormone. It is a growth hormone. So if you're eating throughout the day, let's say your body needs 2,000 calories of fat and protein a day to survive, to get by. It's very easy to eat 200 calories here and 200 calories here and 200 calories here, and the next thing you know, you're well over 2,000 calories.
Right.
But if you limit those 2,000 calories, and I don't really like to get into calories, but if you limit those calories to 2 meals, you will find it is much more difficult to overeat if you're limiting to 2 meals. But when you're just snacking, like if you give me a bag of nuts and every hour I just have a handful of nuts, I could easily eat 5,000 calories of them.
It reminds me of that old adage about the frog that, like, if you try to cook a frog by, like, throwing it in boiling water, well, of course it's going to hop out. But if you put it into cold water and then slowly keep turning up the heat, it'll stay there till you cook it because, you know, it's a gradual thing, and that's really the way, like, snacking gets away from us. So yeah, if you think about eating, 200 calories, you're right. It's super easy. But if you sit down and you're like, I'm gonna have 2 meals a day and it's gonna be 1,000 calories a piece, That's a little bit more
And,
challenging.
and when we say 1,000 calories, 1,000 calories that is heavy in protein and fat.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that beef, butter, bacon, and egg works so well, is because, as Dr. Berry talks about, it's very hard to gorge on a lot of beef.
Yeah.
Okay, none of us are craving, I just want to sit down and binge eat beef. I mean, we think we want to, but your body is very quickly going to be like, I've had
done.
enough. So
Make a roast.
you're going to find it hard to do that. And that's also where, if you are going to have a keto treat, like let's say you want to have a little bit of dessert, like a piece of a Lily's chocolate bar or something. You want to eat your full meal and then have it afterwards. We talked about this on the podcast today. I could easily eat a full Lily's chocolate bar before my meal and then eat my full meal. But if you give me my full meal, like say a 16-ounce prime rib, I'm going to have a much harder time eating that whole Lily's chocolate bar afterwards because I've already filled up on protein.
Right.
So it's like our friend Abby says all the time, like meats before treats. Eat all of your meat. When you look down at your plate, the first thing you should be focusing on is the protein and the fat that's in the protein. So if you're having a salad, this sounds opposite of everything else. Eat your meat first and then eat the salad.
And you can ask a restaurant, like let's say you go out to a restaurant, we'll go to, Texas Roadhouse or something, and we will get a prime rib, and like, let's say I make my 2 sides of salad, I'll make it one big salad. I will tell them, because they'll say like, oh, okay, we'll bring that out. I'm like, don't bring that out until the meal, because I want to eat the meat first.
Yeah.
And then see if you have room for the salad. But it's always like the opposite, right? They want to bring out a salad first, and then you eat that, and then you don't have room for the meat. So you want to do the opposite.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say, so that's how you physically get away from the calorie counting. The mental issue, that's another whole story.
It is.
It's
very
difficult.
hard for people.
I think it's difficult for all of us to even come to keto when we've been taught, stop eating fat.
Yeah.
Fat is bad for you. And you come over here and you still see it in the keto community. Well, I have fat, so why should I eat fat? Because our body needs fat to lose fat. Well, that doesn't make sense. But you have to, if you start understanding the physiology of the body and what it uses for fuel, you'll start to understand why that's true. But the problem is we have to get past that mental thing of counting calories, and that's what's ingrained in us, right? Eat less, move more. That's what everybody says. Eat less, move more. Rachel proved eat less, move more doesn't work.
Nobody was eating less than me.
Though I am currently proving that just adding a little bit of movement can affect the scale, because I've not changed my eating at all. As a matter of fact, if anything, I'm eating more often. Like I hate to say this word, I am almost snacking a little bit. So like I'm having a couple of meals a day, but I'm having, like on my way to the game today, I had like a quarter of a keto brick. Now I haven't eaten dinner yet, but I just needed something because I had an hour and a half drive to Miami, and then I had a game, and then an hour and a half drive home, and now I've got this, so I may or may not eat dinner. But I haven't changed anything other than maybe adding in 100 or 200 calorie like snack before a game. And I am currently, because of lacrosse, losing a pound a day for the last week.
It's been crazy.
Like a pound, and I have inflammation.
I know.
So,
I'm sorry. I hope that heals up
and
quick.
And the only thing that has changed is moving a little bit more than I was moving before. Yeah.
Movement
So exposing
matters.
darkness. Yeah. Anyone going to Ketopalooza? You already answered that. People talking about the thing. Marie said,
Hi, Marie.
I have been struggling. Kitchen, living room, and hallway remodel.
Ooh,
living
that's
in
a lot.
2 bedrooms and bathroom with my 2 dogs. 1.5 weeks till I have my kitchen back. I feel terrible that I let myself
Well,
go.
do not get on yourself, because there's no sense in that. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't fix anything. It just makes you not enjoy your day. And your day, your life, the hours, the breathing, like the breath that you're breathing, it's all a gift. So let's just go ahead and enjoy it. You know what the problem is, so you know what the solution is. Do your best tomorrow to keep your food simple and try not to focus on like the clutter around you, this is going to be just for a season. What I love, my favorite Bible scripture is, and it came to pass. Why? Because it didn't come to stay. Whatever the issue is, the problem, the frustration, it's going to pass. You're going to get through it, and you're going to have a beautiful home on the other side of this. But don't get down on yourself, because then you've just like been frustrated and then also feeling like guilt and shame. That's needless.
Yeah.
So don't let it bother you.
Keto Simple said no amount of movement is going to fix a broken system. I would agree for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a great old saying, abs are made in the kitchen. If you're doing a ton of working out and going cardio for 3 hours a day, but still eating junk, nope, never going to fix it.
Yeah.
Never going to fix your sugar issue, your diabetes. You cannot work out bad habits and bad eating. However, if you get your eating right, the movement can fix the scale not moving, because we talk about this all the time. 80% of your health and your weight loss is the food you eat. But the other 20% is important, and that is sleep, stress, and movement. And I've kind of proven that to myself anyway, that I think my diet has been on point for 6 years. But every once in a while, I get into something else going on. And when I look back, I'm super stressed. Like, why did I gain weight during COVID? I didn't do anything different. I was eating the same. But what happened during COVID? It happened in the middle of lacrosse season. So all of a sudden, I went from working out, like doing 12 games a week, to none.
Right.
And super stressed about like what's going on in the world. Those two things caused my scale to go up almost 20 pounds. I didn't change my eating at all.
Yeah. Now, something that I saw Sarah G bring up that I think is very important
Are you looking in the other spot again?
I may, but that's okay. Is what movement does for our mentality.
Yes.
And so getting outside and moving and starting to exercise, you're so right about that, because as we have done paddleboarding and RVing and canoeing and now scuba diving, getting steps in and all of those things, it's like it makes me feel so well in my mind. It is such a stress reliever that it allows me to let go of some of the coping mechanisms that I've utilized in the past, which all are food. Right? A lot of just food.
Keep going.
Are you
I'm trying to get the
It's
giveaway
hard
thing
for me to focus.
Well, don't worry about that.
I have to worry. I need to. No. So I do think that, while movement, like, is there a direct correlation between it, like, working off the pounds or not? Like, people are going to debate that. But I definitely think it helps me not focus on getting all of my joy and all of my comfort and all of my stress reduction from eating.
Right.
I think that that's helpful.
Okay, we're going to pick a winner for this
Pick the
little
winner.
while. So
is there like it'll just pull from the chat?
Yeah, so you have to be active in the chat, and then in a little while we will have Nightbot pick a winner from people who are active in the chat. You don't have to say anything special, just be active in the chat. And you have to live in the United States.
There is Keto Chow in here, and then there is a bunch of elements, so electrolytes coming your way. We didn't even rub our armpits on it.
Exposing Darkness, do you have to have a passport for the cruise? I do not believe you have to have a passport for the cruise, but I believe you would have to have your original birth certificate, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
I can see Sean is answering.
Original birth certificate and your driver's license. We just did our passport.
We got our passport last year because we were so excited about going, and then we didn't get to go because of Joe's teeth.
Denise wants to know, when is Keto Palooza in Louisville? I believe it's the first weekend of October.
Oh, good. Chris is going to go to Low Carb Cruise 2024.
Robin said, having elevated blood sugar and frequency and gluconeogenesis elevated A1C, particularly gluconeogenesis.
Lynette says she wants some Keto Chow. She also mentioned that you got a Stanley mug. Yes, this is Lynette and Miriam.
Yes, it is.
And
well, you got
Holly's
one too.
influence, and I got one too.
Yeah. So elevated blood sugar in the morning, normal. Elevated frequency, make sure, number one, you're eating enough fat. If you don't eat enough fat, yes, you body. It's not about lowering the protein. It's about eating the fat. People think that they're connected. They're not. Eat more fat. That's number one. Number two, check out your stress. Your body will create glucose if you're stressed, if you're sick. If you get a pimple, your glucose will go up.
I don't want a pimple.
If you see somebody you haven't seen for a long time and get excited, your glucose will go up.
I bet
so
when
lots
I
of
see
things affect your glucose.
when I
If
see
you get
Chris
mad-
Miller and Megan tomorrow, my glucose is gonna shoot
Already
up.
said Keto said they love the podcast. Today.
Oh, thanks so much for listening.
Keto Simple said, yeah, Joe, with all the junk food you can eat till they are gone and still want more. Be looking for more stuff. Yep. But you're not going to be able to do that. There's a cutoff. Keto Simple said, with the wings we order 30, I hardly get full. I just get done when I'm eating them.
Yeah.
We went out last week and we each ordered 30, and I don't think we eat 15 a piece. But you're like, I've got 30 there, and you keep going, and then I get to I eat that one. I'm like, yeah, I was done 5 wings ago.
Mommy was too. She was just like, I'm done, Zoe. I'm totally done.
Cindy said, so totally agree. Carby foods make you crave more carby foods.
Yep. Carby foods beget carby foods. Sweets beget sweets.
Jen said, even though my parents are not keto, being on vacation with them, they are amazed at how I don't eat at each meal and that when I eat, I am comfortably full.
You are so right. It is always odd for people. They're like, don't you need to stop? Don't you need to eat something? It's hard not, people are just used to you stopping all the time. And you're like, nope, I'm good. Let's just keep going.
Is that better, Jen? Not Jen, Susie. Susie said the hoodie string is triggering my OCD. I want so bad to fix it.
I'll fix it.
I'm cold. I was running around on a field all day. I haven't eaten except for 300 calories. It's time to eat. Whenever I fast for a while or don't eat a lot, I just get cold. Did anybody else get cold when you fast?
I get cold when I eat meat. I get cold
yes, I have to bring a jacket to a Brazilian steakhouse
every single time. I guarantee you, I will be freezing cold after I eat a whole mess of meat.
Okay, Shauna said, do you have any
arnica
gel or cream that will help with that homeopathic great on bruises? Oh, I'll have to look at that.
Yep, I'm gonna get me some.
Denise said, my fingers swell, joints hurt, brain fog, and skin breakouts are the form of inflammation.
Yeah.
And it is different for everybody. FMP Feelgood said, I bought some cereal school for my snack-obsessed son. He loves the chocolate and fruity ones. It's a little expensive, but I'm slowly trying to get him off of junk.
Way to
but he is upset. But that's good. Yeah, I mean, yes, this stuff costs more money, but how much is our kids' health worth?
Exactly. So every morning, Caleb has been doing me the great honor of letting me cook him breakfast in the morning before he goes to work, which is I absolutely love because it's an opportunity to still mom adult children. Anytime my kids are like, can you fix me some food, Mom? I'm like, yes, I can. So every morning he has been eating a 3 or 4 egg omelet. And then I've been making him, I'm just slicing up and warming up one of those Just Made Ketos. Now there's a new name. It's the Better Baking Company or something. Yeah. Little muffin for him for work. And it's changing out. He used to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a muffin there every morning. So now we have switched it to where he's eating eggs and he's eating a much tinier little Just Made Keto muffin. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm tickled pink that he's eating that, right? Yeah. Because it is a good transition. So I like that we're in the same mama boat.
Jesse said, I can say for anybody interested in ordering the Super Reds Marine Collagen, my entire box of Perfect Keto goodies smelled a little fishy. I hope it tastes better.
Better than it smells?
We honestly got some, and we got so busy. We were traveling, and so we have not tried it. We didn't even do a review video on it. It's sitting on the shelf. I haven't tried it. I will say, if you're going to order, first of all, please use our link. It helps support the channel. But I would tell you that if history continues with itself...
Yeah.
Perfect Keto will probably have a sale for what's coming up, St. Patrick's Day. So I would wait on ordering anything until they have a sale. First of all, never buy Perfect Keto without a sale. Just don't.
No.
Don't buy it without a sale. It's not worth it. Megan, do you guys worry about portions at all? I feel like I'm eating too much. No, we do not portion control at all. When we eat, we eat. And when we don't eat, we don't eat.
Yeah.
And so, like, we may go 16 hours, 20 hours. Sometimes we go 36 or 48 hours without eating. And we're like, I'm not hungry. But then when we eat, we eat whatever we want so long as it is, like, within keto. And we eat as much as we want. So we're going to Brazilian Steakhouse. We have no intentions on eating during the day. Although you might want to have something because I found out that your Discovery Cove thing includes food. It's all inclusive.
Well, I am gonna.
So you might want to eat.
I'm gonna.
Because you're actually fasted today.
Yeah. So I'm gonna swim with a steak and eat a dolphin tomorrow.
Nice.
Or I'm gonna swim with a dolphin and eat a steak tomorrow.
We go out to that Brazilian Steakhouse and we're gonna eat probably a couple pounds of beef apiece.
Yes.
Brace
yourself, Effie.
Alyssa John said macadamia nut milk unsweetened would work well. Okay. FMPL, yeah, we don't do ham much, but the only time I really like it is on sandwiches. John said you have to be careful with ham steaks. Sometimes they were a little carby.
True.
You have to really look for the clean ones with clean ingredients. Yeah, I would agree.
Get the fancy ones.
Alyssa and John, roadmap to the fountain of youth. Eat the meat of large ruminant animals and occasionally lift heavy stuff.
Janice says, don't shame me, Joe. We won't.
Any more before we get off? Keto Simple said we didn't change. We made it so tough keeping up that when we would go to Illinois or Ohio knowing it we're on a different time. Yeah, because Indiana, I believe, used to also not be on the time change.
So John's reminding us we need to pick a winner.
Yes, we're picking it in 2 seconds. I was just looking for anything else. Okay, you ready?
Oh, John says, I don't have a smoker, but really enjoy pork belly in the air fryer. If you have it, you could also smoke it like a brisket in your oven. You can just cook it like that. You don't even need a smoker.
No, you do not need a smoker to cure for your ham, for your bacon. You don't need
You mean a pork belly?
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Roll it.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, burger footage.
Exposing darkness.
Yay! Congratulations!
So go ahead and send me an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com with your shipping information, and I will send that out probably Friday.
Yeah.
Because
Since
we're
we get
leaving
back.
at 5 o'clock in the morning
Or
tomorrow. 4. No, 5.
4:30?
5.
4:15 it is.
5.
4:45. I'll be ready.
5. You'll be ready at
4:20.
3, but I will not be.
4:22.
We're leaving at 5. I will get up at 4:50.
I will see you in the car at 4:49.
Okay, we are going to get off, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our live stream a day early. We do have a couple of videos coming out later this week. We will be back live on Monday with Keto Beyond the Couch. Everybody have a great week.
We love you.
Bye.